welcome to a new episode of IT Conversations. My name is Dennis, I'm here today with Barry Haveman and we're going to talk about FlexApp. Barry, welcome to ITQ. Can you introduce yourself and maybe tell something about yourself and your role at Liquidware?
Absolutely, thank you Dennis, thank you for being here. My name is Barry Haveman. I'm a solution architect at Liquidware. That means I'm helping customers and partners with the technical side of our product portfolio. And I'm doing it for now for 5 years, the last 20 years in end-user computing, mainly working with desktop virtualization projects, workspace management, application delivery, so the whole aspect of what we see today in the end-user computing.
Oh, nice, very good to hear that you're here and your role at Liquidware. So Barry, maybe interesting for our viewers, can you tell us what FlexApp is, what it does?
Sure, yeah. So first of all, Liquidware is a company known by many of you for Stratosphere, which is our monitoring solution, our DEX solution. But we offer more solutions in the end-user computing space, workspace management, application layering, what we talk about today. So FlexApp is basically a application packaging and delivery solution. So we capture an application and we are able to deliver it to the end user's PC. And FlexApp on its own, it's about decoupling the applications from the Windows OS and makes it a really flexible way of delivering your applications to any endpoint, as long as it's a Windows OS.
And how does that interact with the Windows OS and with the settings within it?
Well, like I said, we capture an application. That's what you need to do before you can deliver the application. So when we capture an application, we store all application settings, the files and the registry keys, into a virtual hard disk. And that virtual hard disk is in its own entity. You can attach to a virtual, physical, or cloud machine.
Oh, wow.
When we do that, our agent, which is running on the endpoint, plays back the contents of the virtual hard disk. So it plays back the program files directories, the registry keys, to a Windows desktop and act if it's a local installed application. So from a technical endpoint or technical point of view, I have to say, an end user will not notice the difference between an installed application and an application layered by FlexApp.
So it interacts like a native application?
Exactly. It can interact with other applications. It can interact with other applications brought there by FlexApp. And it can interact with the operating system itself, which makes it a really high compatible solution to deliver any application to the end user.
Yeah, no, good to hear. Is it possible to pre-configure the settings for it? For the FlexApp
the application settings, yeah. So when you think about the application settings, maybe you have some settings that need to be pre-configured because you want to enforce a specific setting for an application, a language setting, or maybe some checkboxes on and off in the security side of the application. So during capturing, you can configure the application the way you want it to. So every step you take into the application after it was installed during capturing is recorded in the capture. And it's played back to the endpoint. So if you select the checkbox to enable security in the PDF creator, for example, it will deploy it that way to the endpoint. If that is not possible during capturing, if there's other requirements like starting services or anything, we have the option to use post and pre-playback scripts, which basically means you can script anything you want against the application to do stuff for the application.
Okay. Barry, how does FlexApp handle user personal settings?
Yeah, so the settings people make to their applications, their personal preferences, they want to store in the machine and take it to other machines or other profiles. FlexApp stores it natively in the application data of the end user, so in the profile and in the current user registry. That means any profile solution you use currently will store FlexApp personal settings in the profile, like FS Logics or any profile management solution you use. But like I mentioned earlier, Liquidware also offers user environment management called ProfileUnity. And ProfileUnity is a way to or set specific settings or store the settings in the profile.
You mentioned ProfileUnity. Is that an alternative for Ivanti workspace control? Because they have now said to stop with that product.
Yeah, that's a really good question. We get it a lot these days. ProfileUnity is a full advanced profile management solution. That means we can offer you to store the profile in a profile disk. We can offer you to store it in portability settings, which means we can track and save little portions of the user profile and take it to any machine. But it also offers a whole suite of modules with simple things, drive mappings, printer mappings, administrative template management, but also the more advanced stuff like application whitelisting, privilege elevation, triggers, and maybe even more important is that it offers you a full context engine on your endpoint. So we don't care about how you log into the endpoint. Our agent is extending that to be a really extensive condition, context-aware solution, which allows you to change the workspace when people roam with their laptops, when they connect or reconnect to their existing session in a really simple way.
I think this is an important thing for customers to know about ProfileUnity. But if we now go back to FlexApp, can you explain how FlexApp automatic packaging works?
Yeah, so FlexApp packaging automation is a feature of FlexApp, which basically allows you to automate the packaging stuff, right? So normally you need to manually package an application in our packaging console, click next, finish for the applications and configure the application you want. FlexApp packaging automation takes that to the next level. So that means you can use an API to talk to our packaging engines and tell the packaging engine that here is the executable or MSI. These are the silent parameters to package it. Do your thing, right? Do your thing. Package the application, store it in the virtual hard disk somewhere on the network. And what is really awesome about that is that you can leverage any solution, any automation solution to do this. And we also recently announced a couple of partnerships with technologies like Remote Tree, application readiness, access IT automation. But basically, like I said, any software testing solution can be leveraging FlexApp packaging automation.
Oh, wow, that's a good feature.
Yeah, and think about that. If you constantly need to package an application every week, for example, Google Chrome, it releases every week. If you need to do that manually, it will take you a lot of resources, right? And resources are a problem inside IT organizations. Yes. Think about security patches. So this thing is pressing on us, on our packaging departments a lot. So if you can automate those steps, that would be a really big benefit.
And you could schedule it also? So every Monday you only set the package at a certain location and you can schedule it every Monday?
Yeah, and basically you can use PowerShell to do that, or if you have an advanced automation platform, you can use that one.
Okay, good to hear.
Yeah.
If a customer wants to switch to a cloud solution, because DaaS is a big thing in our community and our EUC portfolio, how can FlexApp help with that?
Yeah, so adapting cloud or migrating to cloud is a big topic nowadays. FlexApp and also the other products I mentioned, FlexApp on its own is platform independent. So if you package an application for your on-site Windows 10 VDI environment, you can use that same package to a Windows 11 laptop, which is managed by some cloud device management software. You can put the package on Azure Blob Storage and connect to it from your Azure Virtual Desktop machine. So it's just the location. You need a location, which can be cloud native storage, what we support. It can be Azure Files, it can be a file server in the cloud, or on-prem. If you store the package there, the agent from Liquidware is able to connect to that location. Mm-hmm. We can literally layer the application in everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, good to hear. And for customers that are switching to DaaS or thinking about DaaS, this could be also an aspect that they can use for their applications. But there is also FlexApp 1. What's that, and what are the use cases for that?
Yeah, so this is a really good question, because FlexApp 1 is also just a feature of FlexApp actually. It is basically the same as FlexApp in its core. So you use the same package, the same source to package the application. But if you enable the checkbox for FlexApp 1, you will also get a standalone package, which means you do not longer need the virtual hard disk and attach it with our agent. But you take an executable, which is a self-containing executable that has the virtual hard disk in it, and also a light player to play back the application to the endpoint. That being said, that means we take away the requirement for our management console and our agent to deploy an application. And you can take whatever you already have, SCCM, Workspace ONE, Intune, to deploy that self-contained executable to an endpoint.
Oh wow, that's a really good feature. Yeah, yeah. I like that very much.
It's the same feature set, so they are feature power. We are constantly adding new features to both FlexApp editions, so to say. So it's a really cool product. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the important question for all our viewers that are now watching. If they want to know more about FlexApp or want to know more about Liquidware, where do they start?
Well, I think this video is a great way to start with it, but they can always, of course, contact me on my email, on my X account or LinkedIn. We have a download website where they can download the product with a full feature set in the trial license. They can contact us for an Anavar license. We use Slack as a community, so there are different ways to connect with us. And last I want to say about that, talking about FlexApp 1, that's really the easiest way to start with FlexApp, because then you just need the packaging console. You can be up and running in like 15 minutes. Oh, wow. And deploy your applications as a POC environment, for example. Okay.
Thank you very much, Barry. If you want to know more about ITQ or Liquidware, you can contact us at ITQ. If you like what you have seen, like and subscribe this video, and see you next time. Bye-bye.